Hi boys and girls. Today we are going to be creating this cute llama plaque. So this one we actually turned into a llama corn, which is a llama with a horn, right? Like a unicorn. But if you decide you just want to make a regular llama, that's what I'm going to do today. If you decide you want to add this horn, you can always add that extra piece. All right, so everyone's gonna start with their ball of clay. You're gonna kind of take your hands and toss this guy around a little bit, and we're gonna try to make it into a ball, or something like a ball. Doesn't have to be perfect. Hopefully, before we started today, everybody cut out these pieces of their template. Okay, this is gonna be the head of the llama. We have this little triangle shape. This is gonna be the llama's ears. And then we also have this other triangle that is gonna be the snout of the llama, okay? So what we wanna do is make a nice flat piece of clay that we can put our template down on top of, and then we're gonna be able to cut out all these different pieces of our llama's face, and then we're gonna put them together. We're gonna build him, okay? So our clay is here. We made a circle, it's getting kind of flat. Gonna take your hands, gonna give it, I better take my watch off. We're gonna give it a good pound, okay? Just try to get it a bit flat. And in case you're wondering how flat to make your clay, the rule that we always use is that we want our clay to be about as thick as an Oreo cookie, okay? So you wanna take a look at the edge of your clay and think, is this an Oreo cookie? Or is this thicker than an Oreo cookie or thinner? We just want to try to make it as close to an Oreo cookie as we can. So I did some pounding with my hands and I got it pretty flat, but I'm gonna stand up now and I'm gonna use this big part of my hand, especially this bottom part. This is called the heel of your palm. And I'm gonna push down on my clay, especially from the middle, kind of working out towards the edges. We don't want the edges to get really thin and then it's thick in the middle, right? So we want to kind of try to go evenly. And we're gonna push our clay nice and flat until we feel like we're that Oreo cookie thickness, okay? Not double stuff Oreo and not that weird thin Oreo, just a regular, delicious Oreo. All right, I feel pretty good. This is gonna be the back of our llama, okay? So we're gonna take our we're gonna take our toothpick right now before we do anything else. And we're gonna write our name right here on the back, okay? So I'm gonna write J-U-L-I-E. You don't wanna push your toothpick so far into your clay that your name carves through to the other side. We just wanna scratch it on there a little bit gently, okay? So since this is gonna be the back of our llama, what do you think we need to do next? If you said flip it over, you are right. Okay. So I'm just picking up my clay, flipping it over. This is the side where we're gonna put our template, okay? If it's not super smooth, you can just take your finger into your water a little bit and just kind of rub it over the top of your clay. That's gonna get it really nice and smooth. And that way, this front part of our llama that you're gonna see, that's the nice side, right? All right. If you want, if it's bumpy and you don't like the way it looks, you can always take your rolling pin and just gently give it a little bit of a roll to flatten it out. My rolling pin had a bunch of stuff on it, so that actually maybe made it worse. Let's see. All right. Now, here's the first piece of our template, right? We're gonna wanna start with this biggest piece because we have a nice big flat surface here. And I'm gonna put it pretty close to the edge because I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to fit more than one piece of my template onto this piece of clay. So I have my biggest piece kind of pushed down here on the edge, and we are gonna take our toothpick, right? This is gonna be our cutting out toothpick tool. And we're gonna wanna trace around the outside edge of this template. Now it's important that your toothpick goes perpendicular to your clay. We got some vocab words. Perpendicular means straight up and down, okay, at a 90-degree angle. So I'm putting my toothpick in straight up and down, and I'm just going around the outside edge of my template and tracing my llama's head. One more to go up here on the top. All right, cool. So that piece is done. I'm gonna see if I can fit another piece of my template on here. I'm wondering if I can fit my llama's snout up here. I can. If you can't, that's okay. Sit tight and I'll show you what to do in the next step. If you can fit another piece of your template, go ahead and put it down. Use your toothpick, perpendicular to your clay, straight up and down, and go all along the outside edge of that template. All right, so we have 2 of our template pieces done. Now this part's fun, you get to peel off, just like if you're making sugar cookies, right? After you put your cookie cutter in, then you peel off the rest of the pieces there. Okay, we're gonna put those to the side for a sec. So this is our llama snout. If your edges get messy, like if from cutting, because it's pretty normal, right? You're gonna take, again, your bowl of water. I have just dipped my finger in, just a little bit of water on there. And I'm just gonna go around to each of my edges and I'm gonna smooth it out so that they look nice and clean and even. All right, I'm gonna put that one to the side. I'm gonna do the same thing with my face template. I'm gonna use my finger and a little bit of water. And I'm just kind of working on that edge on the corner and just smoothing out any areas where the toothpick kind of made it look rough or bumpy. Okay. Not bad, looking cute. I always say it's important too to make sure that your project's not stuck to your work surface. So we're gonna pick this up as well, just to make sure that we can get it off when we need to. We'll actually be painting these projects today, so if you want, this piece pretty much done with this guy, you could move him to your plate if you want, or you can keep him on your work surface. All right, he's nice and smooth. Okay, so we have some scraps over here. I'm gonna see if I can fit my ear in here somewhere so I don't have to roll these out again. But if you can't, you can just get your clay back into a ball, right? Make sure that you get it nice and squeezed back together. And then just same as before, you're gonna use your hand and flatten this piece of clay out to be the size of an Oreo cookie, the thickness of an Oreo cookie. Okay, so I have my ear template. Our llama has 2 ears, so we're actually gonna wanna cut this out 2 times. Ooh, I thought I could fit it on here, but I don't think I can. So I'm gonna smush this one back together too. Sometimes when we smush our clay back together, we wanna make sure that if there's any air that got trapped in there when we were smushing it, that we press the air out, okay? So it's really important. Press down nice and hard on your clay. Get it, all the air that got trapped in there, we're gonna get it out. All right, and we're flattening this down like an Oreo cookie. Are you guys tired of hearing that word Oreo? Are you hungry for snack? Okay, so we're gonna trace our ear template 2 times, okay? So I'm gonna do one right here. Have my toothpick again, perpendicular, right? 90-degree angle, straight up and down. And we're just going around the ear shape, the ear template. I think I can fit both of them on here. So I'm just gonna flip it over. Gonna do it again. Toothpick is straight up and down, tracing around the ear shape. Did it, fit them on there. All right, put this extra clay to the side for a moment. And our template pieces can go out of the way. All right, so we have all of the components of our llama, right? We have 2 ears and we have the snout and we have the face. So same way that we sort of cleaned up our nose before, we're gonna go ahead and clean up our ears, Okay. Make them nice and smooth. So I have a little bit of water and I'm just going around the corners, right, the edges, and just smoothing them out. If the shape is, not right, you can always use your fingers and sort of shape them at this point too if you needed to make it a little pointy or anything like that. All right, this is a really important step that I'm about to tell you because we're going to start to be putting the pieces of our llama together. And if we just stick two pieces of clay together, like let's say I just took this snap and I just put it on my llama like this, and then I put it into the kiln. When I took this out of the kiln, there's a good chance that these two pieces of clay wouldn't be stuck together. It's important that we glue our clay pieces together, okay? And this is how we're gonna do that. The two pieces that we wanna stick together, we're gonna think, okay, here's one spot and here's the other spot, right? These are the pieces that we wanna stick. We're gonna take this special tool. Anybody know what the special tool is? That's right, it's a toothbrush, but don't put it in your mouth. This is just an art toothbrush, okay? We don't want to use this to brush our teeth. But this toothbrush is going to have these scratchy bristles, right? And these scratchy bristles are kind of wet. So we took our toothbrush out of the water and we're going to brush our teeth on our clay. Brush our clay teeth. So we're just taking that toothbrush and we're just rubbing it on the part that we want to stick. And then we're going to do the same thing on the part we want to stick it to, okay? So you can kind of see it's getting kind of slimy and it's getting wet, and that's exactly what we want. Hey Nation, this is Julie, how can I help you? So you can see both pieces of the clay are nice and wet. We used our toothbrush, we gave it this good scratch, and now we're gonna wiggle and press our pieces together, okay? So this is our snout, and I just put it on there, and I'm kind of just moving my hand back and forth, making sure it's nice and solid on there. And then I'm gonna take my finger, and I'm just gonna go around the edge and kind of seal it on there, okay? You wanna do it gently. You don't really wanna press this down too hard because you want it to kind of be 3D. But just a little bit, just so that these two pieces are really stuck together. Wow, he's looking so cute already, guys. Bam, okay. Time to attach the ears. So we're gonna put one ear on each side. The round part of the ear goes on the outside and the flatter part of the ear goes on the inside. So ears are gonna look like this. Okay, same situation. We need to glue these ears onto the base, okay? So we're gonna be using our glue again, right? Our toothbrush, and we're rubbing one side and we're rubbing the other side. And then we're gonna press and wiggle this ear on here. Now, because these two pieces are flat next to each other like this, we really wanna press this on. And we wanna use our finger and rub this so it looks like it's just one piece of clay, okay? So this time we kind of do want to press a little bit and make sure that he's really, really stuck on there. So cute. All right, that's our first ear. Same thing with the second ear. Glue, a little bit of water, right? Rub, rub, rub. Rub, rub, rub on the spot where we're sticking it. Press and wiggle, and then smooth it out with your finger and a little bit of water if you need it. All right, if it got bumpy, if you like kind of mushed it around a little bit, you can always just use your hand and make him nice and smooth, okay? So earlier we were saying sometimes our piece gets stuck to our base. This is a good time to check because we just did a lot of pressing on here, right? And we wanna make sure that this can be lifted off of here. And we wanna be careful that our ears don't fall off. We're gonna do this really gently. We're gonna gently pick them up, right? Give our ears a little check, and then we're gonna gently just lay them back down. If it looks like your ears weren't attached all the way, just go back in and use your finger and make sure that I had a little spot over here where it looked like my ear wasn't totally attached. So make sure that your ears are really on there, okay? Oh gosh, he's so cute, you guys. All right, time kind of do some details, okay? This guy is gonna be a plaque, which is something that you can hang up on the wall, okay? So we need to make some holes for our wire or our string to go in. Everyone's gonna have this little piece of a straw. You're just gonna go ahead and put a little hole on each ear on the tip. Cool, perfect. Okay, you can set that to the side. And now we're gonna do some details, okay? So we wanna give him a face. We want him to have eyes, okay? So I'm gonna do these sleepy eyes, right? Like these kind of closed eyes with the eyelashes. So I'm taking my toothpick again, and I'm just gonna go really gentle. I'm gonna start to carve the details in, okay? So here's one eye, all right? I like to go back with my finger and kind of just tap it and make it smooth. And if you need a little water, you can always go back, I'll do a little water. Sometimes then you need to go back again with your toothpick. All right, it's kind of a balance, kind of doing both things at the same time. All right, one eye. And we'll try to get symmetrical, see if we can get the other eye to look the same. That part's always hard, right? We'll do the best we can. Again, we want to try not to carve all the way down so that this goes through to our mat. So you want to kind of go gentle. You can always make it deeper, but once you go all the way through, it's kind of hard to fix. So do a little bit at a time, okay? If you want, you can carve eyelashes. You don't have to. You could always just paint those on later. But if you want to carve them in, I'm going to do that. Oh, he's looking cute. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm really just putting my toothpick into that slot that I already made, and I'm just pressing a little bit to get these. And then I'm gonna use my finger, clean it up a little. Teeny bit of water if you need it. Okay. So those are my eyes. We're also gonna carve a shape for the inside of the ears, okay? So it's just gonna follow along the shape of the outside of the ear, just a little contour in there, okay? So like a triangle. Looking good. And then we just need a shape for his nose and his mouth, okay? So on this one, his nose is a heart. If you decide you want to do a heart, you can, or you could just do a circle. I have this little heart cookie cutter that if you want, I'll leave out for you guys. You can use it if you want to try to just press the shape of a heart in there. You don't want to press too hard. We just want a little, you know, just to give us an idea. So just wiggle it in a little bit and then wiggle it back out. All right, you can make this really easy heart shape. I'm gonna just go back and make it a little thicker with my toothpick so it matches all the other parts that I carved. And then a little line for his mouth. So it could just be a straight line, or you can do a smile. I think a smile will be fine. Oh, looking good. One more thing to add is the hair. Okay, so we are gonna use some of our scrap clay that we have over here on the side, and we're gonna make some coils, okay? So a coil is like a clay snake. So we're gonna open our hands really big. We're gonna squeeze our clay, so it's kind of like a messy sort of tube shape, right? And then we're gonna open our hands, and we're gonna roll the clay in between our hands until we have a shape that's like a snake, okay? If you need to make it thinner, you can put it down on the paper. Again, you're gonna open your hand really big and gently roll back and forth, okay? We want this like really flat, round part of our hand to be what touches the clay. That's what's gonna help it to be really smooth, okay? All right. Once you have this, you can trim it, right? This is too long. His hair would be crazy. He'd be like going super long. So I'm gonna use my toothpick and I'm just gonna cut this off, okay? And then I'm gonna use this piece that I created and I'm gonna attach it. What do we need to do to attach it? We need our clay glue. So we're just gonna take our toothbrush, we're gonna rub it right on there, and then we're gonna press it, wiggle, right onto his face. Okay, now I have plenty of foil left here. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. You can put it on there to measure if you need to kind of see how long you need to make it. And then if you want it to be pointy on one end, just take your fingers and just kind of, you know, roll around that other end a little bit to make it thinner. And then I'm gonna use my clay glue. I'm rubbing it on there and I'm gonna attach it next to my first piece. And we're gonna keep going and we're gonna do this all the way across the whole face, okay? So I'm gonna cut a couple at a time and I'm gonna fast forward the video so that you don't have to watch me make all of this hair. And then we're gonna do the finishing touches together. Okie dokie, my friends. So I have all of the hair attached and I hope you can see him. He's so cute. We're gonna let him dry for a few minutes. And if there's time in your class, you might be painting your llamas today. If there's not, your llamas are gonna get fired in the kiln and then you're gonna get to paint your llama when it is picked up. It's always good, you know, right at the end before you're done, just give your project a look over, make sure that you are happy with the way everything is. If you need to touch anything up, you know, you can always go back in with your toothpick and do that, or with a little bit of water if anything needs smoothing out. But otherwise, our llamas are done, or your llama corn, and you guys did a great job. I hope everybody had a really good time today, and we'll see you soon.